I'm going to get to my special guest. If you have not joined me or joined my special guest, the one and only Baltimore's hip hop lyricist, Jay Sully. Jay, say hello.
Hello. Good
He's out
morning
there.
to the world. How's everybody? Hope everybody's doing good.
All right. We're going to get in and get started because we do have a few things to talk about. And you're going to hear some music from Jay Sully today. Guess what? Yes, I have music from Jay Sully. I ain't going to tell you what it is until I get it played. Another thing I want to mention real quick before I jump in with my special guest is Thanksgiving is next week.
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving is next week. I'm going to be doing my shopping this weekend. Hopefully all y'all have got your menus planned, but I have urged you since the beginning of November, if you can, adopt a family or make a food basket for a family in need, okay? Some people cannot afford all of the fixings for Thanksgiving. Turkeys are expensive. That's no joke. Depends on how many people you feed in your house. But, excuse me, try to help another family this holiday season. If it's Thanksgiving or if it's Christmas. Buy a toy for a child. Put your name on the angel tree. Something. Take care of your fellow man. That is a request from Lady Blue. Now, we are going to jump in with my special guest, Jay Sully. Jay Sully.
Good morning, Miss Lady Blue.
All right. Now, you told me when you came in here, you kind of been under the radar, behind the scenes, on the other side, and now we bring you back out so that the world can see you and hear you.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to? Because I know the last time I haven't seen you in probably about a year.
Yeah, it's been.
It's been a good minute.
A little more than a year.
Good minute. So what you been up to?
Well, basically, as any other artist, I've been definitely in the studio recording, a great deal of new music, because I look to do some kind of release, you know what I'm saying, beyond single or full project, because I haven't put out anything since my last release, and that was in like 2014.
Okay.
And I recently got into event producing.
Okay.
I did my first performing event as the producer out of pocket in June, called Tale of the Tape, and that actually had a pretty decent turnout. People came out and supported, and then we had a second event that me and my partner, Mr. Ronnie Edmond, Mr.
Hey, Ronnie, shout out to Ronnie. Go ahead.
Put together in September, titled "Live Loud, Love Music," and it was another performing event that catered to a more specific group of people. We like to call them the Stoner Society, and it was once again it was a really, really good turnout. Again, shout out to everybody that was involved and participated and supported. So
all right, that sounds like that. Well, you haven't exactly been stagnant. You've been busy.
Yeah, and then I just, like I said, I got back to the music because I was doing the events, and then it just was like, man, I ain't been in the studio in a minute. I've been writing, and just the creative juices got to percolating again. So
Understand. When it hits, and it ain't no joke.
That's nice.
It comes in, and it comes in a nice, great, big way. Real quick, shout out to my friend, part of my creative team, Blockade, Kate Anderson, out of Delaware. Thank you, Kate. Sean, thank you. If you have questions for Jay Sully, hit him up on his Facebook Live or my Facebook Live. We will make sure to ask the question and get it answered. So, Sully, real quick.
That's nice.
Let's go back a little bit.
Yes.
Baltimore native?
Yep.
All right, born and raised what side of town?
West Baltimore, Monroe and Lexington.
Looky dookie, on the west side of Baltimore. So, how many in your family?
How many in my family?
And are you the only child? You got an older
brother,
younger
I
brother,
have
sister?
I have a little brother, and I have two step siblings.
Okay, all right. And what was my next question? Boy, that just went whoop, right up out of my head. Okay, so when did you start in music? When did music take its hold on you?
Professionally, I started recording in 2010.
Okay.
As far as doing music and rhyming, it go back to the college days, and I might wow a couple of people, but it'll go back to the college days back in like 2000, 2001. Just freestyling with some, in the dorms, and going to little events that I seen. You know what I mean? Like I always enjoyed music because my father is an avid jazz lover, and my mother listens to music and everything. So it was just kind of one of them things. Once I got to college and was being surrounded by people. Like, I went to Eastern Shore, and
Okay.
a lot of my college mates were from like up north in
Mhm.
New York and Pennsylvania, and hip hop is prevalent there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? New York is the East Coast hip hop mecca for real. So
Right.
just being, surrounding myself with people that enjoyed it like that, and gotten a rhyming, and I got the rhyming, and I
Just took hold after that. So
Yes,
you've been
ma'am.
surrounded pretty much by music all of your life then,
yeah.
from home to college to now.
Yes, ma'am.
So did you start with a group, or did you just start, was it just you solo by yourself?
I've always been a solo artist
Mhm.
by definition and description.
Okay.
When I started out, like I said, I've always been a solo artist, but I had a group of friends that we all kind of started the music together.
Okay.
And, started recording. And shout out to my whole Pure Swag crew. Shout out to everybody that originated and started the Color Money Music Group movement with me. Shout out to my man Harper the Don and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
But I've always been a solo artist. I never, like we did some recordings as a group, but it was like a group of solo artists.
Okay. All right. So with that knowledge, and you just mentioned what my next question is going to be, how did you come up with Colored Money?
With Colored Money, well, of course, the money part being,
That kind of obvious.
defining the passion for some profitable gain.
Right.
But when it came to the color part, what drove me to eventually come up with the title was just I consider the term colored as encompassing a whole prism of everything.
Okay.
Not definitively just categorizing it into anything specific. So.
Okay.
It just colored would represent the general acceptance of, when it comes to music, just anything that's influential and of course not negative, so obviously positive and progressive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then it sounded cool.
Okay. Nothing wrong with anything with money and it sound cool, right? Okay. So and that's been around since when?
I officially got the LLC in like 11.
Okay.
Like pretty much subsequently after I really started officially recording, then
Okay.
it was
And it
trying
just
to-
kind of dropped in there and
Yeah.
been stuck ever since. So going back to the first time that I met you, it was over there on Bel Air Road. It was an open mic, and that was the first time I heard "Don't Ask Me What You Sang" because I can't remember that far back.
Oh, wow. Can you remember the open mic on Bel Air Road?
Yeah, it was at that little pub on Bel Air Road. And shout out to Sabrina of Chic and Sassy Entertainment, because she's the one that kind of had that. That was my first open mic. The first time I ever got introduced to anything in Baltimore, because that's the first time I met Jay. That's the first time I met Yvonne. That's the first time I met E. Digga. And you happened to be there too. And
was that Jay's
no, it wasn't her release of God Save Me. It was just something completely
Okay.
and totally different. Her release was later.
Okay.
This was just something that Sabrina, was an open mic she threw together. It was poetry, music. It was a whole little bit of everything. And that's the first time I met DJ Twist as well too. So see, I got integrated whether I knew it or not. Okay.
I wonder if you're talking about Soulful Poetry, the open mic we used to do. That's because we used to do that down on Park Avenue.
Now this was over on
Oh, you got me.
You was there. Trust me. Okay.
What you mean?
I have not lost my faculties yet, but you was there.
As long as you know, I'm good.
But yeah, I mean, that's when I first heard you, and your flow it caught me. Let's just put it that way. I enjoyed the music. It wasn't anything where you had to, it's just like, ooh, did you really just say that? Okay. Do you find it easy to write your music, or really quick answer that, is it easy for you to write, or where does your inspiration come from?
I mean, yeah, to answer the question simple, yeah, it's easy for me to write because it's my mental approach and how I develop my material.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's kind of routine too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's fairly, I mean, I've never come up with writer's block. Like,
Okay. All right.
I don't like to stay stagnant. If it come down to it, and I'll come back to it, start something fresh, or usually it just, I'm motivated by whatever concept I got in my head, so it just comes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna come back And we're gonna jump right back on that topic because I got a whole nother question when it comes to writing songs. But we're gonna come back and we're gonna ask Jay Sully some more questions. Hit us up on Facebook Live, either Jay Sully or Lady Blue. We all over the place right now. Looking forward to hearing your questions and everything you have. This is Lady Blue of the Lady Blue Radio Show, live on WMSK, onlineradio.com, where talk radio just got better.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know about y'all, but I love my radio drops. Hello, hello, hello. This is Lady Blue coming back at you live on WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better. I'm in here with my special guest, Jay Sully, and I got a couple of little announcements for you all. Y'all ain't doing nothing this Saturday, November 19th, from 12 to 4? Well, I got something for you to do. It is the 5th annual Flag Football Food and Clothing Drive presented by WMSK Online Radio. That is taking place at 25 East Northern Parkway. Yes. And it's there's going to be 8 football teams gathered, and there is a requirement for you to join in on the fun. You need one large, like 30-gallon trash bag full of gently used clothes, shoes, blankets, whatever it is. Make sure it's clean. Make sure it's gently used. No holes, no fun stuff, okay? You need one meat item. It could be chicken, it could be beef, it could be pork, it could be lamb, if they're venison, if that's what you want. But make sure that it's wrapped and it's safe to eat. And you need 5 canned goods, okay, non-perishables. All this is going to benefit local shelters in the area, and it is from 12 to 4 p.m. and it is presented by WMSK Online Radio. There will be a live DJ Ambitious, if I remember correctly, and there will be other food and fun as well. So make sure you join Miss Connoisseur, Tina Hamilton herself, and the rest of the crew down there and enjoy some flag football and helping out your fellow man. Another thing that I want to mention real quick, there are some fantastic lineup here on WMSK Online Radio from Sunday through Saturday. Okay, we've got a lot of things and a lot of shows like Sideline Talk, Controversy Radio. You've got Uncut Sports Talk with Miss Connoisseur herself. You've got Unsportsmanlike Conduct. You got me, your girl, Lady Blue, coming at you on Thursday mornings. You've got the Lyrical Paradox and the Cypher on Friday. You've got Teenage Truth and the Betrayed Wives Club on Saturday. But it's a fantastic lineup here at WMSK Online Radio. And listen, if you have a show idea, if you think you can handle the mic, hit us up at WMSKOnlineRadio.com. Go up in the upper right-hand corner, click on Contact Us, drop us a line, and we will get back with you. If you wish to sponsor a segment of the Lady Blue Radio Show or any other show here on WMSK Online Radio, go again to the website, click up under Advertise Us in the upper right-hand corner, check it out, drop us a line, and we will get back with you. On that note, we are going to come back to my special guest over here, Jay Sully, who has been patiently waiting to get back to get back at it. Hello, and we're gonna get back into the question I asked you before we went to break, and that was writing. Because sometimes with us writers, it either comes or it don't. And are you like me? Do you have a pen with you all the time?
Well, first off, because we back on air, I did it on Facebook Live, but I got to do it on air once again. So shout out to my lady, Miss Kara Campbell, if she checking in. Love you, baby. Appreciate you. So back to the question.
Okay. Well, I got one real quick before you say, hey, Shabazz, I see you on Facebook Live, okay? Go ahead on.
Well, I was, when I got an iPhone a couple of years ago. I kind of put the pen down. I put everything in my notes and make sure it's backed up. But in a sense of writing, as far as the question, I might be in my notes writing like every day. Like anybody that know me as far as me doing music, they know I write 5 or 6 bars like every 30, 40 minutes because I got my phone with me and I'll just go straight in my notes because I think about something or I'll think about what I'm composing, go drop something. So I write a lot.
Okay, so because I know when I write, I have like 2 books in my purse alone, and then I've got like books all over my house, and I've got a book in my drawer at work, and it's just like, okay, do you not have any place to write? No, it's finding a pen is always the hard part for me. But I guess the reason I ask that is because it's different when you're writing. Do you find it's different if you're trying to write just a poem versus trying to write a song, or does it seem the same to you?
Kind of the same, because when I'm writing a song, like I go into a mode because I've listened to the track. I'll go into the mode of developing my concept and then figuring out my approach from material all the way down to cadence.
Okay.
And when it comes to writing, like I haven't wrote a lot of spoken word in a little bit of time, but when it comes to writing spoken word pieces, I kind of just go from my spoken word pieces come from a single thought. Every time I've ever written spoken thought, it comes from a thought, and I just kind of elaborate on that. You know what I mean? So it's like because I don't have many poems, so it doesn't really rhyme. It's just one good expressive thought. Right. And
does your writing ever keep you up at night?
Oh, I don't sleep.
Well, that answered that.
I don't sleep. I don't sleep.
Because another kind of likeness, and I don't keep a book by my bed, but I have those times that if I have a thought and if I don't have something to write it down with, if I don't write it down at that moment, you can forget it. 5 minutes later, it's gone. I can't go get it back. I cannot remember what I just had in my head.
Oh my goodness, some of my best 6 and 8 bars I have. That's why I'm starting to try to make myself a habit of, instead of, because it used to be if I don't got a 16-bar verse, I'll wait till I got it and then I'll write it. So I've gotten in a habit now of writing as they come, because I have, like most people say, I have forgotten some of my best stuff in a matter of moments. And like I'll be like, even late night I'll write and I may doze off or something like that, and then typically I'll wake up in the morning and sometimes I'll come right back to that song because you know what I'm saying, if it just I was in the creative mode, you know what I mean?
Yep, I know exactly what you mean. Shout out real quick to A Day in the Life and Grindheart Entertainment for sharing the Facebook Live. Appreciate y'all so much. Shabazz, love it. Okay, and to Native Sons, I know you doing your thing, so shout out at you and appreciate you so much. Now, coming back to the music scene, how do you feel about the music scene in Baltimore right now, especially the underground music scene? Not so much mainstream. We already know what's going on with mainstream, but how do you feel about the underground music scene right now?
In one word, actually promising.
Okay.
Because I believe that the overall scene of the industry, and where I hear a lot of Baltimoreans in respect to us being independent and local artists, we grumble a lot about the fact that Baltimore has a lot of unexposed talent that people look over. And what I heard for a while is how overlooked we are, or once Baltimore get that eye, we gone. But now what I've been hearing amongst my constituents in the world of Baltimore is they feel like we've been overlooked, so it's energized them to create, and then create so much more quality, in the sense of they gonna stop looking over us. They gonna check this out.
Right.
So it's like, as far as the scene, I say promising, because with all of us being dedicated more to applying that effort to provide the quality that will get exposed and get looked at, they ain't doing nothing but breeding better music and better creativity.
So with that being said, and knowing that the underground scene in Baltimore is hot, that's basically what it is. If you're not familiar with the underground scene, get familiar with the underground scene. I'm telling you, it's a pulse that is literally beating under the, and when we say underground, we're not talking under the streets and the sewer system. Let me just get that straight, okay? We're talking about the folks that are not on major record labels like Sony and Atlantic and all of this. We're talking about the people who have a passion for the music. That's what we're talking about. And I am looking at y'all on Facebook Live. G-Red, shout out to you. But with that being said, because Baltimore also has, and I've heard it from a lot of the other guests that I've had on the show, especially musicians, is that crab in the barrel mentality. Do you feel that people are supporting each other, or are they just all out for themselves?
In all honesty, unfortunately, it's still an even mix of both. I have seen as of recent that the support amongst independent artists in town, such as myself, have started to develop a little bit better, and I mean that in the sense of just seeing people out at different functions and events that I normally wouldn't see. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody say Baltimore is a small world.
Right.
So it's like, you know, I might go to this event and I may see this artist, or I may see these people in attendance.
Right.
That in past that same event, or those same people that were producing that event, I never saw these people come support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then on the same token, it's still kind of, you still have the element of the crab in the barrel mentality with some of the artists, because they haven't developed that, you know, I like to put it, we all we got mentality. Like, you know, Baltimore needed to be exposed just like Atlanta needed to be and Miami needed to be. But the difference between them two cities and us is those artists said, you know, we're going to make sure that we're getting on. And here it's still artists that say, I'm going to make sure that I put on for the city.
Okay.
And it's like, you know, we could definitely put more on for the city if it's a we, you know what I mean? But
and I wholeheartedly agree, because we need to support each other. Another person's victory is your victory too, because that puts you and them one step closer to the goal that all of us are trying to achieve.
I agree.
We all do what we do because we love what we do. Okay? Yes, I love to talk. Okay? And yes, I love to write. And yes, I love to be positive about things, because of all that I've experienced enough negativity in my life that I don't need no more. Okay? But the thing of it is the more we support and the more we stand by, and the support does not always have to be monetary, but you still should go out, buy a shirt, buy a CD, buy a bumper sticker, buy a button, buy a hat, buy a cup, it doesn't matter. That shows your support, because you'll be surprised how many people walking down the street going, I know you. I know you, and just give me a minute, you know. And that's how it works. So,
yes, ma'am. You're absolutely right.
All right. So, real quick, tell us about, if you can remember, your very, very first live performance. Was it in a club? Was it in an auditorium? Was it in a downstairs basement? Where was it? And how did it go for you?
I am so pumped that my lady just joined the live. I am so pumped right now.
He gets love from his other half right now.
I am so pumped right now. Oh man, the question. Oh, my first performance. Oh boy. First performance. Matter of fact, I remember now. It was with my my Pure Swag clique. Harper the Don, aka Mr. Swaggerite. Another artist, EP, my man Nephew. We did what is now Paparazzi. We did the first show at Sona.
Okay.
It was the first time I ever performed. Just like any other artist, they might say they were nervous. I was nervous, but on the same token, it was cool. Like, and if I go back to the video, I could tell how rookie you was.
It's amazing when you go back and see that difference between then and now.
The show I did, my first performances, matter of fact, now I think about it, were with my first manager, Miss Sabrina Williams. Shout out to Sabrina Williams and Sheikah Sassy. When we were doing Soulful Floetry, she had that open mic going for, you know, better part of a year and a half. And I kind of got my feet, you know what I'm saying, and got my performance legs, you know, doing those open mics, because we did them every Thursday, and I can probably count on one hand when I didn't perform. So.
Right. Okay, cool. And he's still over here grinning. I want y'all to know he is grinning hard, because his lady love has joined in. Okay, he is just very happy over there in the corner. I think I've been seeing his head bob up and down the whole entire time. He's just happy. I love a happy artist. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, in terms of, really quick, things that you're working on right now.
Right now, again, like I said, working on the next project installment. Don't have a title. Got a concept, don't have a date. Other than that, we're promoting a video that me and two other artists, a friend of mine by the name of L Banks and my homie Mr. Mahar, we did a cover for the Hate in the Blood song. We did a Hate in the Blood freestyle. That's on YouTube at TJ the Real channel. And I'm preparing for this event that we're promoting now. It's Live Loud Love Music, the second session. It's going down on December 4th. So we I mean, pretty much just a couple of things. Like I said, other than that, it's just the music. Just creating this next musical installment that I promise you people will enjoy.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, when we come back from break in a few, we're going to talk a little bit more about stuff you got coming up, and I'm going to ask you your opinion about some things that have been going on in Baltimore and around the country.
Please do.
Okay? because I always love to get my guests' opinion on what's going on around the world, because we all have different views and different opinions. Nobody has to agree on everything.
I'm
But
about to
we
say
all
it's
got
just
something
my
to say
opinion,
about
people.
something.
It's not a fact. It's just my opinion.
We all got something to say about something, but we are going to come back. We are going to talk about that with my special guest, Baltimore's hip hop lyricist Jay Sully, and of course your girl, your favorite blogger, Lady Blue. Gonna be right back here with him. So come on back and join us. This is Lady Blue, the Lady Blue Radio Show, live on WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better. All right, hey, we are back. This is your girl, your favorite blogger, Lady Blue, coming back at you live on WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better. I'm still in house with my special guest, Baltimore's hip hop lyricist Jay Sully. But I got a few things for y'all before we get back into our conversation with my special guest. If y'all ain't got nothing to do in February of next year, see, I'm filling up your calendar. Just thank me later, okay? February, the 24th through the 26th of 2017. I got something for y'all to do. It's called the Hip Hop and Soul Weekend. This is an endless weekend getaway, and I'm going to read the list to you of what's going to go on that weekend, okay? You're going to have a star-studded blowout concert that is going to be featuring Remy Ma, Lil Kim, let me get that straight, The Lox, and Cardi B. This event is hosted by Ray DeJean. You also are going to have round-trip motor coach transportation, 2 nights, first-class VIP accommodations, all-you-can-eat smorgasbord with extensive menu selections, which means you can get your eat on if you love to eat and you're a foodie. 100% free access to all on-site events, nightly DJ dance parties till 4 a.m. That means you can pop till you drop, okay? Premium open bar throughout the weekend. There's going to be 3 theme parties plus on-off-site activities, winter sports, shopping, casino, games, contests, Island Fever Luau party, Wild Safari pajama party, Rep Your City Spirit finale day party. The premium bar is going to be open. Space is limited, so you need to hurry up and get with it today. You need to contact Ms. Connoisseur herself. To book now, you can call 443-814-1337. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, WMSK Online Radio, and at Miss Connoisseur. And Miss is spelled with a Z, so don't get it twisted. Get that one straight. Other than that, another positive story. I mentioned this last week. There were 2 positive stories that I mentioned last week, and they all had to do with little kids. And there was one of a little girl who ran into a older gentleman in the checkout line at the grocery store. Told him that he was old, but said it's my birthday, okay? Birthday, not birthday, but birthday, okay? And she made quick friends with this elderly gentleman, and she asked her mother to take her back in the store so she could take a picture with her new friend. Excuse me. So the picture was taken, and the elderly gentleman was just very taken with this little girl. And the meeting or the chance encounter went viral, and a friend of this gentleman, and his name is Mr. Dan, saw the video and contacted Mr. Dan and put the little girl and Mr. Dan in touch. So they became fast friends. And it came to find out, the mother thought she was, was kind of imposing, but she let her daughter do it because it's what she wanted to do. And it turns out that Mr. Dan was just very uplifted by the event because he had just recently lost his wife. So he was alone and kind of feeling a little despondent, and this little girl just lit up his life, and they are fast friends. They shared a whole 2.5-hour lunch. They cut roses out of the garden. They talked. They did the whole 9 yards. So he has himself a nice little new friend, and I think that is a very sweet story, and I'm glad that to see the update and the fact that they got to reunite and meet. And another story that I mentioned was about another May-December kind of friendship going on between a man named Emmett and another younger boy named Erling. And this was the little boy who made friends with the elderly gentleman across the street because he had a tractor like his toy tractor, a John Deere. And they grew their friendship over a love of tomatoes in the backyard, okay? And Erling is a World War II veteran who bonded with Emmett from the first day, okay? And I told you that Emmett had to move away because things, came up. And A month later, Erling and his wife moved to a senior apartment. Okay, but Emmett and Erling stayed friends. Okay, all through even being separated. And it apparently, not too long ago, Erling was moved into an assisted living home because his heart condition had worsened. Okay, and he was receiving hospice care when he got moved there. Well, of course, little Emmett, who had been friends with him since the day that they met, got to have a final visit with his friend. Now, Erling was 91 years old. He did pass away, but Emmett got to see his friend one last time, and he read his friend the Lord's Prayer, and Erling encouraged Emmett to listen to his parents. So his parents kind of geared him up and felt that was an appropriate way for the two to say goodbye to each other. And Erling passed away 3 days later after seeing his little friend for the last time. So that's a touching story about the fact that, you know, if your children, and there's a great picture of the two, I'll show it here on Facebook Live. There's a great picture of the two. That was their last meeting before Erling had passed away 3 days later. And, you know, he took the news pretty hard, but he understands because his parents took the time to get him prepared for the fact that he wasn't going to see his friend anymore, or at least here on this earthly plane, he wasn't going to see him anymore. And that's another beautiful story of how, you know, the little ones, they're innocent and they can brighten up anybody's day as long as you give them the chance to talk and you listen. Not every kid is bad, okay? Not every kid needs to be grabbed by their neck, okay, and brought to reasoning. These are two little children that really did a very good service for the seasoned members of our community. So I like to share those stories because they are heartwarming, and we need more of those.
That's right. We need all
need
the
a whole lot
positivity
more of
we
those.
can have right now.
Yes, yes, yes. So we're going to get back in with Jay Sully over here. And Sully, I have a question.
Yeah.
Question. It's a simple question. Don't worry. You ain't got to dig nowhere or anything like that.
That's cool.
But we've been talking about it, and I want to know, who would you like to collab with, whether they're in Charm City or in the DMV or in the nation or in the universe for that matter? Is there anybody that you would love to collab with?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Jay the Lioness.
Jay.
The boy Bless.
Okay.
My man Icon the Dragon.
Mhm.
That's from the same neighborhood. We still ain't got together yet, but it's working.
Okay.
I got a family member of mine, my little cousin, Be Easy.
Okay.
In the industry, one of my business idols has always been Jay-Z, so I would definitely like to collab with him.
Okay, the mogul himself. Okay.
Andre 3000.
Ooh, now that's
Definitely.
different.
Yeah, no, he's one of my industry influences.
Okay.
Who else? It's an artist from here by the name of Ashley T. Moore.
Okay.
She was on. I think she was on one of them Love and Hip Hop shows before.
Okay.
But she's an R&B artist. Would like to collab with her. Industry wise, I would probably say to round out to probably Andre 3000, Common, Jada, Kiss, and a few others here and there.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good list, though. I like that list. Okay. Now, in terms of, I told you I was going to ask you some just, all around general questions, but before we get to the general questions, there was one thing that we were talking about before we got back on air, and it was a question you said somebody had asked you, and that was, how hard is it to write something that doesn't have profanity in it?
Well, for me, it's actually quite easy. Like I said, I always mention to people in humor that, I typically use more profanity and general conversation than I would use in my music. But when it comes to composing music, it's easy because it actually provides a healthy challenge. Because sometimes I'll in thought, a bar will end with a vulgarity, and the challenge would be to replace that word. So then when over the course of time, it just becomes routine. So it's there. For me, it's fairly. I ain't gonna say fairly easy. For me, it's just outright easy.
Okay.
Because it's just a challenge.
And there are artists out there, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're on Facebook Live or you're listening to me on internet radio, there are artists here out there that don't use profanity.
And
now,
can still be aggressive like you guys
yes.
like it.
Now, mind you, as I've always said, the occasional hell damn crap, that's okay. Okay. That's okay. We understand that. But I'm talking about just face forward, hardcore profanity. Okay? There are artists out here that don't use that. And I want to shout out real quick. I want to shout out Be More's Lil Key. I want to shout out Jesse Jones. Those are two youth here in the area that if you have not seen them perform, please see them perform, okay? Especially the youth, because that's two artists right there. They don't need a profanity word at all, and they get their point across. They've got such a fan base, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Especially Jesse Jones. If y'all don't know who Jesse Jones is, come on now.
If
I say Jesse, y'all say Joan, okay? Jesse Jones, all right? Girlfriend's out there. She is still doing her thing. I know she recently graduated from high school, so that's a congratulations for her.
Shouts out to Jesse Jones.
Yeah, she got that done, and moving on to bigger, better things. So that's the thing. And Lil Key was on the rap game, and I'm just gonna say it. I think he got shorted on the rap game because he turned it out. He did his just due to represent Charm City, and he did it well. And other artists that are here, Jay the Lioness, of course, doesn't need a whole line of cuss words to get her point across to you and draw you in. And trust me, she can get you to hot one, okay? And there's plenty of other artists out here as well that I've shouted out. And again, if I forgot, Poet Renee, if you're listening, if you're on Facebook Live, I'm still wearing yes, I took it off and I washed it. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know. But I'm still wearing my Inspiring Minds shirt from Poet Renee. She has a great line of shirts, t-shirts out there. So if you are interested, hit me up, hit her up, get yourself a shirt. We're going to get people wearing shirts all over the place out here. You got Hood Respect. Shout out to Tamel Martin Sr. I love my Hood Respect t-shirts. People are talking about the Hood Respect t-shirts. We got the 50 Shades of Blue shirts. We got it all running around, but we'll talk about shirts later. We're going to get back over here to Jay Sully. Now, we're going to veer from the music scene for just a second.
Cool.
Because we got a whole lot going on in the world right now. And just real quick, your short view version of the past election.
I don't like it.
Okay, well, see, how short was that? Now, I mean, we all are still having to take in, we're all still raw from that event. Give me one thing that you don't like about it.
Well, I mean, evidently, Trump wasn't my choice. Just like a lot of people. But bottom line, I don't like it because it in my opinion, it proved that a certain level of monetary accessibility, in my opinion, seems like can win you the presidency.
Okay. Now, with that, how do you feel about the protests that are going on now? Because they're still going on daily. They're filling the streets, and it's not just a few people. We're talking hundreds of thousands
I've seen
of people.
They've been different cities and states. Just like with the uprising surrounding the events in our own home city, I'm with the people that are for peaceful protests. Protests all day long, as long as they don't become violent and out of control. Protests all along, because if you're protesting on what you strongly feel, then don't keep it quiet. And it seems like the nation as a whole feel unanimously against this decision. So as long as it's peaceful, and as long as nobody, like I said, nobody gets hurt, and because as long as they protest, then their voice is getting to someone, even if it's not being accepted and completely recognized. You can't be naive to it. Everybody doing it across the nation.
Right. Right. Okay, so we got your view on the election. Let's go to another subject. Everybody who's anybody should have heard it. And I don't want to mispronounce the man's name, so I'm just going to leave his name kind of out of it. But they just had the police officer that was involved with the shooting of the young man in the vehicle. He was just indicted and charged with, I believe it was second-degree manslaughter.
Is that the one?
That's the one whose girlfriend filmed the whole entire thing in the car. How do you feel about that?
That's new news to me just now. But injustice. How can it be manslaughter when it was murder? Simple and put.
And there you have it. But now, I asked this question earlier this morning, and my husband and I were in a conversation. This young lady filmed this entire thing, Facebook Live, in the car of her and her boyfriend. Okay, officers facing, the courts. The young man who filmed the death of Eric Garner went to jail for filming.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they decided he needed to go to jail. So my question to you is, do you see a difference between the two? Male, female, they both filmed something that happened with the police. Why should he be in jail? We don't know if she's going to jail. All we know is that the police officer is facing, jail time. But I'm saying, to me personally, and this is just my personal opinion, it's no reflection on the station whatsoever, I don't think that young man should be in jail for catching something that happened, because that sparked a lot of it was just a snowball after that, with people being shot and killed, across the country, from down south to up north. It was just happening across the nation. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I believe and I don't want to be quoted because I'm not diverse in every specific lingo of the First Amendment, but I believe if video footage that you do with your personal device falls under the First Amendment, how can you send somebody to jail for doing something that they're in the Constitution they had the right to do?
Okay. Now, mind you, none of those videos, and yes, I'm looking at the Facebook Live screen while I'm talking on the mic, but none of the Facebook videos were blurry in any sense. In other words, you could see everything that was going on. And the only reason I state that is because when you watch certain videos, do you ever notice how some of them are so blurry you can't even see what their face looks like, their nose from their forehead? But in these videos, you can see everything from top to bottom. And I think, to me, that's what the disparity is because you're seeing it point blank here, whereas everywhere it's like, well, it could have, it may have been, everybody's hemming and hawing, but this is hardcore, straight to the fact. You cannot deny what you see, and nobody can deny what you see in that video. And I agree with you in terms of, I'm not totally, I know the difference between the First, Second, and the Third Amendment. I got all of that. But giving somebody jail time over capturing something that, to me, never should have happened.
Because they said that it's not against the law when people were filming the police. So here's my thing: how did that man get sent to jail? And for real, like one of my live viewers said, what was the charge? Like, what did you charge him with?
Yeah, that I do not know. I don't have everything in front of me. All I know is that kind of stuck in my mind that they wanted to send this man to jail, and for what? He wasn't hindering anybody from doing their job. He wasn't hindering anybody from trying to stop them from not choking Eric Garner either. But he understood if he interfered, that could be a consequence for him.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, he felt he was helping because people needed to see. Now, I know filming certain events can have put you in the spot of being an accessory. Like if you're filming like these fight videos and all these things that go on, and people are going into comas or losing their lives, and things like that. Right. I can see that because technically you should have just dropped the camera and helped.
Understandably so.
I don't know.
Here's my thing though. Okay, so he filmed that, right? Okay, so what if it was flipped and it wasn't filming Eric Garner being murdered, but instead filming something of criminal activity, whereas you have to reach out to this gentleman because he has proof of this criminal activity that you want to use to prosecute. The difference between it is a scenario. Now, this guy's filming something that clearly everybody as a whole knew was being done completely wrong, not to mention somebody lost their life at the hands of somebody else. Right. But yet, if Eric Garner, black, white, purple, or green, was committing a criminal activity against that cop, that same video is now turned into evidence to prosecute. Yes, exactly. So again, what did that man do wrong? Right. That's
the ultimate question. Where is the wrong? Because there was no interference. Now another thing that, and I guess my drive, my whole thing is domestic violence, and because I'm a domestic violence survivor. Now, yesterday I was online, and I think it was on Facebook. Not a lot of people pay attention to everything, but when it comes to domestic violence, I pay attention. And there was a video of a couple. They apparently got in an argument in the parking lot. She stepped out of the car because it was just like it was getting too heated, and the boyfriend apparently backed up. And when other patrons of the mall came to help her, he got upset and tried to run over the people trying to help her. Oh yeah, it was caught. He was trying to knock people over. He almost ran over one woman when he backed up. They were following him all over the parking lot. Okay, he eventually got arrested. Okay, and he's in on charges. A couple of them are felony, and one's a misdemeanor. But the whole point being, your view on domestic violence, because as we see it right now, it's always a whole lot of men against women versus women against men, or women against men, or women against children, or whatever the case may be. But in a case like that, and I'm not talking about videotaping, I'm just talking about domestic violence, period. We know he was wrong for trying to run over people, helping. I don't know if it was a jealousy thing or if he was just that heated he couldn't calm down.
Right.
What is your view on domestic violence and how it's handled today?
My view on it is, naturally, I'm totally against it. Like, I don't believe that I personally don't believe that you should be physically harmful to your companion in any degree, in any circumstance, because of the sheer fact of how can I consider you a companion, my companion, if I'm willing to see or have bodily harm done to you. Because if I put my hands on you, then that means that I don't mind you being physically harmed in no shape, form, or fashion. And one of the degrees of choosing and accepting a companion is that you want to see them in their best light and see them in the best situation possible. So it's absolutely ridiculous to me in the sense that even is the case, regardless of, like I said, regardless of all the circumstances. How it's handled, I think it's still a lot of room for improvement. Domestic, again, when you got people that will do 2.5 years for domestic violence cases, and they sitting in jail with people that have non-violent drug offenses that they're sitting for 35 and 40 years. When the person on the domestic violence charge literally had the life or the physical responsibility of another life in their hands, and they chose to take it to the negative side. And I believe that it's handled improperly from the degree of severity. And then in the conversation, when people say, well, what about the circumstances of sex, woman on man as opposed to man on woman, I believe it should be equal. If a woman is being physically abusive to a man, people always think that can't happen because of the nature of men.
Let me stop you right there, and you're right, because a lot of people post these ridiculous fight videos. I can't stand the fight videos. And some of them, you see these girls that go hard. I mean, they coming from Texas with these swings, okay? And they're doing it on young men, boys that either aren't paying attention to them or somebody bullying. Let's just call it bullying, okay? And a lot of people feel if a girl's gonna swing that hard, then she deserves to get hit that hard.
No.
Okay, go. What do you think about that? If a girl is swinging on a guy like that and he's restraining himself, because most men will want to pop off and knock the mess out of you, okay? But these are people that are restraining themselves because they know if they swing, she going down. That's just it, period. Right.
And I believe and I understand where dudes reserve themselves from, responding physically when a woman is attacking. Now, me personally, I agree. You're not supposed to respond in the nature that she's being abusive to you. But what I do understand is, and I don't want this to come out wrong at all, let's just say this. I believe that you should prevent somebody from harming you physically, but you still have to understand, and I know it's all in the spur of the moment, but as men, you still got to understand testosterone and adrenaline go hand in hand. And when both are at a high point within your system, it is I don't care what nobody says. My viewpoint is absolutely no way a woman
can overpower that. So, in essence, I think you should try your best to get the physical abuse away from you without inflicting equal. Like you don't have to punch the girl in her face to get her to stop hitting you. Right. You can restrain her, and you can prevent her from physically harming you, but you don't have to do that because that's easy to say, well, it was all in self-defense. I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, I still feel like it's man on woman, bro. Like self-defense from man on woman, you can do her way more damage. And I know it's some strong, shout out to all the strong, physically strong females and capable women in the world.
Boxers and wrestlers?
Yeah, I'm not downplaying y'all at all. But at the same token, when testosterone and adrenaline are running hand in hand and rampant within a man, I'm sorry, like, it's been cases proven testosterone and adrenaline in a man won't even have him feel a gunshot. So you can't restrain a woman. Like, come on, man, seriously. Like, I don't know.
You know, like it's like you say, you got some women out here that.
But I believe that women should be held accountable equally, like a man does, and it shouldn't be frowned upon. Like, well, bro, you was a dude, though. Like, I hate anybody's viewpoint that really, agrees with. Well, but he's a man. He could have taken steps and this, that, and that. I mean, come on. Like, mentally.
Most men are taught you do not put your hands on a woman.
Right.
Okay? If you're not going to do that to your mama, if you're not going to do that to your grandma, if you're not going to do that to your sister, why would you do it to your loved one, your companion, cousin, friend, aunt, uncle? Family violence, strong. We are in a season, and as I stated, domestic violence doesn't stop just because Domestic Violence Awareness Month is over. Absolutely. Let me say that again. Domestic violence doesn't stop just because Domestic Violence Awareness Month is over. Be aware of it. We are coming into the holiday season. It's going to skyrocket. Super Bowl time, domestic violence skyrockets.
Seriously?
Yes, it does. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people do that. How's I had the Super Bowl? Why? Because, and now this, we're going to go into a man-woman category. Most men don't want to be disturbed during the Super Bowl. They want their women, unless you're going to sit down and you can talk the game and enjoy the game, you just need to be back there fixing the wings and serving the beer and fixing the sandwiches. If you come in and interrupt, and I'm speaking from situations that I know of, you come in and interrupt, most men get very upset. Wow. Okay? It's a game, first of all, ain't nobody paying you. You just sitting and enjoying. And I realize there are some diehard fans out there. Hey, shout out to my Ravens, okay? I'm a fan. I love football.
Love football.
I can actually sit down with my husband and watch sports. Half the time you don't think I know what I'm talking about, but I'm a girl. I love sports. I don't mind sports, okay? But the thing of it is that we still have people with that mentality that sports is for men and not for women. And when it comes down to football, me and my buddies need to watch football, not me, my buddies, and my wife or my girlfriend. They need to go find something else to do. No.
It's 2016.
Thank you. You done left the 1960s behind somewhere. But it skyrockets. Okay? So we need to pay attention. There are signs. We're not going to go all into that. I just wanted to ask his opinion about that. But yes, it does skyrocket. You'll hear a lot more arguments. You'll hear a lot more calls. Again, police officers, law enforcement, public safety personnel, whether it's fire department, whether it's EMS, whatever it is, they enter into dangerous situations as well. Okay? It's not just the people involved in the domestic dispute, because whatever's going on in the domestic dispute can come right on outside. You've got officers that have lost their life going into domestic situations. You've got EMS that have been harmed going into domestic situations. You've got fire personnel who have been harmed going into domestic situations, because the person on the other side of the door doesn't really care who it is. You interfering with what they got going on. So, okay, we're just gonna leave that alone. Move on to the next subject, okay? Because I'll talk about that all day. That's my heart-driven subject right there. But we've got a new mayor-elect, Catherine Pugh, who says she's going to help with the homeless situation. And because we have a very serious homeless situation here in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about, do you feel that she's going to help? How do you feel about the homeless situation? Do you feel we here in Baltimore are doing enough to help our homeless community? How do you feel about that?
Well, I will officially say I'm doing a little bit more research on Pugh because I can't base an opinion on it because I don't really know much about her background and her, plan of action and everything. I can just say that congratulations on, becoming a new mayor, and hope that, everything she's standing on and everything that she's expressing to the people that she's going to change or, influence actually comes to fruition. In the tone of how we help the homeless in Baltimore, my opinion is from the ground level, I believe we're doing better helping the homeless than we ever did. When I say the ground level, I mean people like you and me. From an official level, I don't believe we've done enough, and I don't believe we're doing enough. I just believe it's been a whole lot more talk than action. But like I said, inadvertently, the people, the Baltimoreans, because it's a lot of, homeless feed ups that, go on the weekends, that go on every weekend. One of my big homies, Charm City C, they are over there by the post office building.
Right.
I want to say every weekend, or 3 times a month, or 5 times a month, and those specific instances around the city, with, like I said, the ground level people.
Right. And shout out to Christina Flowers with her heartfelt drive for the homeless community. She's in it to win it. She'll even spend the night out on the streets with the homeless. Shout out to her. Shout out to Shelly Stalo Stevens, and his heart and his drive to take care of the homeless. Again, Charm City C. Shout out to
Lady Shaw. She got a feed up coming up on December 4th.
I they're coming to mind, but you got the Mid-Atlantic Reformation Group. There's a lot of things going on over there. 100 Women of Baltimore. Check out some of these sites on Facebook. Drives are going on. There's different churches, blankets. I have asked my listeners, please, if you can adopt a family, if you can, bring your canned goods down to the station. I'll take them in. It doesn't really matter to me. We want to take care of our community here in Baltimore. It would be nice not to see another homeless person on the street, but we know we can't take, can't go out there and grab everybody. But we can do the best we can to make sure they're fed, clothed, clean, okay? Whether you're putting together toiletry bags and, a gallon Ziploc bag, go to the dollar store, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, baby powder, put $5 in there, put a pack of cookies in there, something, hand those out. There's nothing wrong with that. I've done scarves, I've done hats. There's plenty of things that you can do to help your homeless community. If you have any questions, please, you got 2 people right here. We'll put you in touch with people who are doing something to help the homeless community out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Excuse me, my voice was
I may not
about to
have
go.
one of my own particular branding, but I definitely, in my network of associates, like I got a lot of friends and elders that are participating and helping out with the homeless. So if you need to holler at me, holler at Jay Sully, inbox me or something. I'll put you in contact with somebody.
There you go. We will make sure that we put you in contact with somebody somewhere.
I, Jay Sully, am trying to do do my part a little bit better and be a little bit more influential in it. That's why women love sports too, Miss Pebbles. I'm gonna make sure I get that donation. Hit right at Hill Baltimore.
Let me tell y'all really quick. The best way to, if you don't have extra blankets at home, okay, we're not telling you to take your blankets off your bed unless you so feel led to do so. If you go to the thrift store, you can buy 5, 6, 7 cheap. Spend maybe $20, $40, and you'll take care of anywhere from 5 to maybe 10, 15 people that need a blanket. Small fleece blankets, you could buy a whole entire comforter if that's what you feel like buying. Okay, things like that. Take advantage of what's at the thrift store. It can be used. Okay.
Absolutely.
They got coats, they got socks. Clean out the socks, cause socks at what a dollar a pair, 50 cents a pair, from kids all the way up. Okay, grab them. Nobody said you had to go run and buy a brand new pair, okay? Let's just put it that way. You've got a lot of avenues where you can go inexpensively and help those in your community. Okay, well, we done touched on a whole lot in the public sector. All right. But you know what, Jay? I want to thank you for coming in and joining me. It's been high energy in here today, and I love it. Yeah. I do want to leave the door open for you to come back again, join us again, bring your crew.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
We got plenty of space in here, plenty of mics, so you can come in and join. But tell the listeners out there where they can find you, how they can reach you, where they can find your music, things like that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, for starts, shout out again all the live people out there in the Facebook world. I do have a fan page that you can visit and check out all the news and updates. You can go to facebook.com/Gemini Sully. Gemini spelled like the Zodiac, Gemini, Sully Sully. On Instagram, I'm at jsully82. ReverbNation.com /Gemini Sully like the Zodiac Sully, and all of my current and past projects you can go to jsully.bandcamp.com. You can stream, or if you really want to support and go ahead and purchase your digital copy. Everything is $3. I'm not charging too much. So
all right, there you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, and the selfless plug.
Okay.
Hating Your Blood 16 freestyle featuring L Bank and Mr. Mahad. You can go to YouTube at TJ The Real YouTube channel. TJ THEREAL. TJ The Real. Go ahead and check that out. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a dislike, but go check it out first.
Just go. just go. Okay. But the point is, he's on social media. You've heard 2 of his songs here today. You heard Royalty, and you also heard You and Me. You can check that out on the replay. And I got a question for you. Yeah. Woo! Ronnie wants to know, have you talked about the new visual?
Oh, yeah. The Hating Your Blood 16 freestyle. Like I said, we did it. We did a short visual over at Graffiti Alley. Shout out to the videographer TJ The Real. Shout out to the artist L Bank and Mr. Mahad. The visual was cool, and it definitely, and then I got to display my endorsee AG3 Life American Greed clothing. You know what I'm saying? It was a good look, man. So I appreciate everybody that supported it, have viewed it so far, will view it, and keep on checking it out. Keep sending them hits over.
All right, so it's fire according to Ronnie.
That's what's up. Shout out to my man. Appreciate that, Ron.
We have had a fantastic time here. I got to thank my special guest again, the Baltimore's own hip hop lyricist, Jay Sully, for joining me here in the studio. All y'all on Facebook Live, y'all have made it so much fun today. It is absolutely ridiculous. But I thank you for the shares. Thank you for everybody that joined. I'm gonna go into my inspirational message real quick before we lock up out of here. But it's been a great show today. And before I hit my inspirational message, I'll make sure y'all know that you can find me, Lady Blue, all across social media. I am on the fan page for my website, LadyBlue1.com, is TheRealLadyBlue1.com on Facebook. Also have the Lady Blue Talk Radio group on Facebook, and my inspirational Facebook page, Joy Does Come in the Morning, where I give you inspirational thoughts throughout the day, but I always start your day off with a good thought for that spark in your day. And of course, my personal page where you can just see me act silly or do whatever. But anyway, I also am on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Google, co-promote, Blastify, LinkedIn, and a couple others I can't think of right now. And it's all at Lady Blue 1, and that's LadyBluu1 on all of those fun social media sites. Please go check out LadyBlue1.com. I've got events on there. I've got my own articles on local artists, local things happening. I've got my own poetry. I am still trying to get my book taken care of. I do have my first poetry volume book out called Vibe in Blue that is available on Amazon. So if you haven't got a copy yet, please go get a copy. I will be working on next year getting you the hard copy so you can have a hard copy for yourself. So make sure that you check me out also here every Thursday live on WMSK onlineradio.com from 9 to 11. Make sure you download the app from Google Play, iTunes, or any Android app store and take us on the go. Make sure you join the movement. And keep it locked here because this is the only station holding down Lady Blue. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, my inspirational thought for today is choose your words. Okay? My aunt spoke into me the other day, stating to me about, the words that you speak have an effect on your life. And by that, what she meant is that I had said something to the effect of, not being able to get to something really killed me. And she said, the sensitivity to that is like you're speaking something to happen in your life. And it just kind of made me think and meditate on that this little itty bitty muscle in your mouth can cause a world of hurt. And it can also speak life into your situation. So choosing your words wisely makes a big difference, not only in somebody else's life, but in your life. Okay? And when we speak, we uplift. We can also tear down. So again, choose your words wisely. And another thing that came to me today as I was listening, meditating and in prayer and listening to a sermon, and I told y'all that I listen a lot to Pastor Steve Furtick from Elevation Church in North Carolina, and he made a statement today that sometimes, his grandma would say, stop what you're doing, y'all gonna worry me to death, okay? And he said that just made him think that, not to speak anything in your life that you can't follow with the following statement. That's just the way I want it. So if you say, man, I just wish you'd be gone somewhere, and that's just the way I want it. If you cannot follow it up with that statement, it is something that you should not say. If you say, I can't stand you, and that's just the way I want it, is that something you want to speak into your life? I could go a little higher in the strong word category, but I'm not going to. But think about it. Think about something hurtful you may have said to somebody along the way, and can you follow it up with that statement? That's just the way I want it. Can you say that I hate something in my life and follow it up with, that's just the way I want it? Speak positive into your life. Speak life into your life. Uplift others. Make sure that you are shining the light from within to those around you, because once you receive a blessing, the blessing should go out. Okay? Don't hold on to your blessing. Your blessings are meant to be shared. Okay? So make sure throughout your day that you share your blessing and choose your words wisely. And also think about the fact that you don't want to be anxious about anything. It says it in the good book. Be anxious about nothing, but be thankful in prayer and thanksgiving. Okay? Anything you say will be added unto you. That's another word that comes from the good book. So be careful what you say. Okay? You don't want to cause anxiety anywhere. And another great statement from Joyce Meyer is, worry is a down payment on a problem you may never even have.
Wow.
So stop worrying.
Wow.
Stop worrying, okay? Often we create anxiety with the words we speak. The way we approach and go through things affects the way we live. The wrong voices, the way we start off our mornings. If you start off your morning thinking bad, guess what? You're going to spend your whole day trying to untie the knots you started with at 6 o'clock in the morning, okay? Shame also has an effect on our lives, because you spend too much time worrying about what others think about you instead of just owning what it is that's happened and releasing it and forgiving yourself of the self-torment that you have put yourself through. Okay, so learn to calm the wave within so you can deal with the waves on the outside. Okay, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, live out loud, enjoy your day. Tune in next Thursday. We got more great guests coming up. I thank my special guests for joining me. I thank you on Facebook Live for joining me. And please, y'all, remember, weeping may endure for a night, but joy, it does come in the morning. I thank you all again for joining me. God bless. Go out there and live your life. Have fun doing it. And I'll talk to y'all next week.